Our topic is realizing the inner potential. And the inner potential, inner, again, we have to see inner means the higher state. Higher consciousness means there is no mixture into it. What is 2 plus 2? 5. There is a mixture. Mixture between the false and the real. At same thing with the mixture. Who am I? What are you doing? I'm listening. Oh, that listening is done by the physical and the subtle body. So there is always a mixture. I have to maintain that awareness. Can this mixture ever be dissolved? Yes, by knowledge, by understanding that I'm not the listener. It is the physical and the subtle body. That is what we refer to inner, higher consciousness of the rise in, because that higher consciousness recognizes this part is listening and this part is awareness, this part is consciousness. In the consciousness everything is happening over the kind. In the water, in the ocean, you have the waves, you have the star. On the earth, on the earth, events is taking place at every moment, but metaphorically, the earth as such does not change. You are an engineer if there is a 1% change in the gravitational force. 1% change. Gravitational force of the earth. My hand is here and 1% change. The way I feel the sense of the freedom, I will not feel the sense of freedom. 1% change. Forget about the rest. And if there is a 1% delusion in the mind, what is going to happen? We try to understand and still we don't understand. Still we continue with the same habit. It is a pulling. Attachment and delusion is such a great force. The people landed on the moon and they were walking, but their walking is just jumping into the air. We don't recognize that inner, that essence. This the same thing happens in our life. Also, we keep on jumping with attachment, with delusion, with a sense of pleasure. This is what our master says. We have a potential. That potential is the pure consciousness that does not change at all. Question comes, I have yet to recognize what does not change, but I have some glimpses that awareness, that consciousness is unchanging in the waking state, in the dream state, in the sleep state. That jumping, that extreme force, say for example, 1% change in the gravitational force, and I have to go. You have seen my house, so if I have to go from my place to restroom, it may take half an hour. Friction. Resistance. My body weight will be maybe, when you weigh it may weigh maybe 500 pounds. Whenever we have anxiety, duality, and a conflict, we say, I feel very heavy. You don't increase your weight. That is an indication of your. We have to get rid of it step by step. point by point, if we don't remove those delusions in our life, then we cannot find that real self. And that is what we discussed last time, that can I build a new home without destroying the old? I have to destroy the old. But what remains? The foundation. What remains is the ground. The ground does not change. So it means there has to be something permanent, unchanging, on which all the changes taking place. When I recognize that unchanging identity in me, then I find that that unchanging identity is me. Whatever is changing is not. Master says we have to either, we can say that move from ignorance to wisdom. We can say you replace your false I with the real I. Well, you can say that. Yeah, or you can say that we are realizing the inner potential. People create lot of wrong notions around this. That pure consciousness. But again, don't take it literally. Pure consciousness, then the master explains, it is Sat Chit Anand. It is the Sat. It exists. No, it does not. It is existence. It is existence. Existence of remote. Just reflect on that. Existence of remote means the remote is existence. What our master says that don't go for objectivity, go for subjectivity. I'm just, giving you some thoughts to contemplate and reflect. Existence of remote. No, that is wrong statement. Remote of existence. That is the reality. Because of the existence, the rope exists. Because of the existence, this body exists. But when I say existence of the body, I say body is existence. That is the problem. In a language, because I see the world of name and the form. And when I see the world of the name and the form and I say this exists, but does it really exist? Does any object of the name and the form really exist, or it is constantly changing? Remote exists, it is changing. Body exists, it is changing. How can I say it is existence? There is some existence because of which this exists. A simple example, my body exists. Okay, let me remove the space and tell me where is the body exist. Rough example. In the space which is existence in which the body exists. Are you getting it? Body exists. Do you need anything for the body to exist? If you need anything for the body to exist, it is not existence. Yeah, that is also very, very good. Left hand exists, left hand does not exist. It exists. Who says this? How? Mind also says it's not exist. Yes, that is the beauty of the Eastern wisdom. So first we go for it exists, it does not exist. Both possibilities are there. So where there is a possibility, I have to transcend this possibility to find the real. That is why we use the word it exists, it does not exist. We say your body exists, you are attached to it. Can you recognize that after certain time it will not exist? So body has a property, two property, existence and non-existence. When the body has a property of existence at one time, non-existence at other time, it is false. We want to say yes, yes, that is what we are doing. That is what, So can I see my body exists and does not exist at the same time? Let me understand it clearly. There is a knowledge, there is an awareness. It means, yes, it is 100% true. It will exist in time, it will not exist in time and the space. It means it is changing. Existence cannot change. What does not exist and still the existence is. An object exists and still the existence is. Do you have any thought? Yes, I have a thought. Thought exists. Ah, okay. Do you have any thought? No, I don't have any thought. Who says that there is no thought? That is existence. We are talking of the knower. We are talking of the seer. We are not talking of what exists and what does not exist. But why we use this example? In order to understand, filter out what exists with the name in the form and what is existence without name in the form. In a very simple way, we are going deeper. So, in a very simple way, in the beginning, we said it is self discovery. Then we said, here is a real self, here is the false self. We understood the false self keeps on changing. Whatever is changing, it alternates between existence, exist, and do not exist. There has to be an existence on which it exists and it does not exist. That existence is our all pervading eternal real. Another way to say it, knower in the known. Another way to say it, objective in the subjective reality. Objective in the subjective reality. This girl, beautiful girl, wife does not exist. You marry, now the wife exists. Look at it. We are making fool to ourselves all the time. $1 million in the bank, and my mind, because of the habit, has framed bank $1 million. I am rich. Let me see from where I am rich. Exist, do not exist. Means it is constantly changing. And the next day, bank calls me and says that $1 million in your from your bank account is hacked. You have to prove whether will you withdraw that money. Now, what happened? This is what this is what we are. So, world of pain and the pleasure exist, do not exist. But the Master Gita, Krishna, we will understand Gita later. So, in the Gita, Master says that the pain hides in the pleasure. Pleasure hides in the pain. So it means you think that the pleasure exists, but behind, deep inside, the pain exists. That is how we solve the problem that one object, one event exists, one event or person do not exist. That is the duality, conflict. Who created this? The mind. Now I'm answering in a different way. Oh, yes, whether the mind is there or not, existence is. Mind can infer, inference principle from the science. Mind can infer, inference is always there. Oh, mind was not there, mind is there. In deep sleep, I never had any thought, even not a question whether I exist or not exist. But by reference, by inference, I know this body, mind, intellect, and ego all are sleeping. Hence, it existed, even though my mind does not know. These are understood in a very small principles. So now what we are saying basically, when you see now go deeper into this metaphor, I have to, can I build a new home without destroying the old home? That old home is that I have taken any what exists as real. That is the problem. So when I take what is changing is not real, what is the meaning of destroying the home? Whether I destroy it today by myself or it will be destroyed after 100 years. It is the same. Now bring that metaphor to the body. This body, I've been telling the doctor, this is a 66-year-old machine. Can any gadget in the modern science can continue to work for 66 years? Maybe with little discomfort and comfort here. Can you keep any gadget which is 66 years old? Yes, we can keep it. We say it antique. Antique means that I cannot operate it. You see that, oh, it means this body, mind, intellect, ego is all 66 years old. On, but how, where, what is that on which it exists? Where, what is that on which it is moving? What is that on which it is constantly changing? There has to be something. That is what the science says, cause and effect relationship. Take the science example, physics example. We say energy is neither created nor destroyed. Matter is neither created nor destroyed. How do you know that? Unless you have something which is permanent. Ultimate cause is there, on which the matter keeps on changing, keeps on changing. But that essence of the matter is neither created nor destroyed. Essence of the energy is neither created nor destroyed. Science is approaching through the metaphysics, but it becomes very difficult for the science to recognize, realize the subjective reality. And there is a reason behind it. The moment you recognize the subjective reality, science says prove it. Prove it by objective protocol, objective by microscope, prove it by sophisticated instrument. And you cannot find real self through the objective instrumentation. My behavior and attitude First is the consciousness. It is not the behavior and attitude of the consciousness. Consciousness reflected into the mind led to a particular behavior. So you are observing behavior and attitude coming from the mind based on the past impressions, inheritance, DNA, and lot of other things. They keep on changing. So you are trying to observe anything that is changing by what is changing. Not possible. You cannot step into the same river again. You have to transcend the mind. That is why we are understanding these principles. Are you getting it? You see, in science, the moment you recognize the subjective reality that is unchanging, you just imagine that is unchanging. Now, bring the topmost scientists, create a protocol to find to do the research to find the subjective reality. Okay, so I have found a sophisticated instrument by which I can see the subjective reality or the real self. Is it possible? The answer is no. Why answer is no? Can you think of it? Why answer is no? Why the answer is no? Because that equipment converted subjective self into an objective self, which is not possible. It means there is one objective self, one I is objective reality, and other is the subjective reality is not possible. That is why they are not able to. So the whole understanding of the science will shatter completely. We have to keep it. Oh, this is science understands the objective reality, mechanism, processes of the natural phenomena. Keep that. That is good. And we our journey of Eastern wisdom is to find the pure subjective reality minus any behavior and attitude, any changes in the brain, any changes in the mind, any changes in the intellect. Why? Body, mind, intellect, ego, dependent on the consciousness. The consciousness does not depend on them. How can you create any protocol of research study based on the science? They only rely on the objective reality. There is no possibility. There is no possibility. So there is no possibility. It means there has to be a way. Eastern wisdom is the way. That is what we are saying. Last week's session, I was convincing all the entire group that why don't you practice Mangalacharan? Why you start? Why don't you practice Shanti Mantra daily? Why you want to analyze the Shanti Mantra based on the objective parameter in the science? It will not work. You have to practice daily in order to experience the change. Your body is your laboratory, your mind is your laboratory. And you are trying that what will happen. First, do the practice, keep on, continue to the practice, see the change in your mind, in your behavior and attitude. That observation will help you, not the observation in the science. We have a California that is pioneer in research in neurosciences. They have published lot of research papers. Now you see, you are trying to find out changes in the brain. Brain is not you, but finding the changes in the brain, you conclude that I change. But I have yet to. Who is this I? We are searching who is I, and you are saying the brain changes, your behavior changes. So the moment we say behavior modification, it refers indirectly to the I, but it comes from the mind. One behavior today exists, another behavior, new behavior has replaced it. So it means the old one is gone, do not exist. Consciousness remains an underlying reality. It is that consciousness which recognizes I was crazy yesterday, I am calm today. The master is saying we have to demolish this objective changes. We have to understand. First, we have to understand them clearly that this is also change, this is also change, this is also changing, this is also changing. What change? Name and the form, quality, quantity. Quality, quantity. It means anything that changes in quality and the quantity, you can break up into pieces. Again, we also say the same thing with the physics. So when it is broken into the pieces, it means it is dependent on something, and it is not the whole. Science is cleverly. I would use the word cleverly. I studied physics and chemistry in my graduation. Whole number one. It is whole. It will remain whole. When you talk of the whole number, it will continue to remain as such. But the moment you mix the fraction, that wholeness is shattered. One upon two, one upon one. That we define the whole, and still we have broken that whole into the parts. Now I want to use the same logic to find the real. Real self cannot be broken. You cannot apply the fraction there. It is one whole. It is all pervading. It is one consciousness. You cannot apply mathematics. You are stressed one, you are happy two, and then you say mix two, that you have a complex personality. No, it is only the mind. Behavior and attitude comes from the mind. You are behind the mind. That remains the whole. I think you might have heard it. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadochyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. That is whole. Everything manifests from that whole. Whole one. It cannot be broken. We don't say everything is created by the whole. No. Everything manifests from the whole. And whatever manifests from the whole is the whole. You're making my mind crazy. Simple clay pot. Clay pot. So you want to say that the clay pot is whole. Yes, I want to say it. How can you say it? Okay, let me remove the clay and keep the clay pot with you. Keep the clay pot with you. No, no. I just bought the necklace and bracelet of the gold. Okay, let me keep the gold and keep the bracelet and necklace with you. That is the process of manifestation. Gold manifested as a ring, as a bracelet, as a necklace. The clay manifested. Now you see that we have raised a question. We are going little deeper. Pay attention to it. That is a very remarkable thing once you clearly absorb into your intellect. Clay to clay pot, clay to wall, clay to your house, clay to White House, clay to skyscraper. Mind is so much full of illusion and ignorance that I cannot see the clay in the White House. I only see the clay pot is here where I drink the coffee. But all is remove the clay. White House is gone. The wall is gone. Your house is gone. My house is gone. My mind is so much clouded when the clay pot breaks. We say, oh, we will get new one. Our overemphasis on the name and the form exist, do not exist. Clay will continue to exist. You break the clay pot into small pieces, then into small, crush into the powdered, still the clay continue to exist. Clay will continue to exist. Anything that continues to exist is the existence. So that is why I said existence of a remote is a wrong phrase. It is the remote of existence. It is the body of that existence. It is the mind of that existence. It is the White House of that existence. It is the cup of that existence. That is one. That is one. Apply this in your mind. Stress of that existence, peace of that existence, honey of that existence, husband of that existence, wife of that existence, kids of that existence, richness of that existence. That is only one. Raise the doubt and see what happens. You cannot raise the doubt. You cannot raise the doubt. Here we have reached 2 plus 2 is always 4. We have filtered out 2 plus 2 is not 5, 2 plus 2 is not 10, 2 plus 2 is not 200, etc., etc. Millions of false, one real. That is why it is taking a long time because we prove this is false, we leave it, the second false comes, the third fault comes. Our masters have categorized in a systematic way, very highly organized, they experimented. One approach is definitely the 40 steps that we are working on it. The second step, they said, you start with the Mangala Charan, then come to, then understand the four connections, then understand the fourfold practices, then understand the four types of seekers, then understand that karma yoga, then understand the emotional resilience or bhakti yoga, then come to the Shravan, Manan, and Nididhyasan, you will reach to that. Very mathematically organized. Math- mathematically organized. So that falls built on shifting sense of ego, insecurity, external validation. That is what the false I is. And what is the real I? It is grounded in self awareness, inner peace, and authentic value. Have you noticed? You are in extreme stress. Who says you are in extreme stress? The one who says is always in peace, who recognizes in the mind that there is a stress. How do you say that I have a pain in the knee? You cannot recognize the pain in the knee without there is something which is not in pain. So I'm always telling a lie. I always tell a lie. But yes, in normal language we continue to say it, but we are on a journey of self-discovery. So we have, is it possible in extreme pain? I see awareness independent of the pain and pain in the body. Two things. That is an ability of the human being, human intellect. Animals do not have it. It's a process of evolution. Even the lion, which is known as the king of the jungle, and you put the lion before the mirror, they are confused. They say it is the second lion. They have done a lot of experiment. They go behind the mirror to find, oh, where is my enemy? That self awareness of separation, there the principle of discernment has come. I can discern, animals cannot. Why it happened since our childhood, we are living in the false I, yes. How it is constructed? It is constructed from the limiting belief, culture, society, conditioning. J. Krishnamurti says there is a heavy conditioning of the current education, of the body, of the mind, of the culture, society, religion, belief, cult, dogma. I have to get rid of all that. The real self is independent of it. That is what he talks about the choiceless awareness. If you claim that this body is another house, it needs to be destroyed mentally and emotionally. It need not to be destroyed physically. Remove that, to replace that false self with the real. Emotionally and mentally, through the knowledge it needs to be what needs to be destroyed? Not the body. I'm not the body. I'm not the mind. That idea, that belief has to be destroyed. But who has built this belief? Sense organs, motor organs, perception, and action. And plus the ego. Ego with its fears and anxiety and reaction and duality and account. So it demands a lot of contemplation and reflection. So the topic is simply moving from the false to the real I, false I to the real I, false I to the real I. Oh, same thing. So we will keep in our head objective to the subjective reality, whether you say false I to the real I or you say objective to the subjective reality. So the quantum physics has tried to make a progress from objective to the subjective reality. But ultimately they have reached to the God particle. Okay, then you are destroying everything. The moment you say it is particle, then there is no whole. It is gone. So you are talking with reference to the objective reality, it cannot work. I have to find out what is, I'm using the word my. What is my relationship with the body? What is my relationship with the mind? What is my relationship with the intellect? Where is my relationship with the ego? And I come to the conclusion ego is the greatest barrier. And ego is nothing but the I thought. I don't have an I thought, so in deep sleep, I'm so happy and relaxed. In deep sleep, not in dream. Not in. I am stressed. Yes, that is coming from the mind. I don't have a stress means the stress does not exist. That is also the mind. Ah, yes, I woke up and I, through the inference into the mind, I know that I was sleeping deeply. Now I woke up. Now I am dreaming. Master is saying, you have seen a very bad dream. The moment you wake up, you falsify the dream. What you did to falsify the dream? I falsify all that is changing in the waking state. I'm seeing another dream in the waking state, which I cannot falsify, which I identify with the body, mind, intellect, money, etc., etc. So I'm not able to find it. In that reference, the sleep is a curse because I don't know anything, but still I'm so happy and relaxed. But yes, sleep is an indication that is that possible, or why we have a dream. We have a dream to recognize all the activities good, bad, high, low, pain, pleasure, relationship, marriage, divorce, money, profession, etc., is also another dream in the waking state. Buddha says in a simple language, Buddha says, mind is everything. Buddha uses, Gita also uses the same. What you think you become. But Gita uses in a different way. Buddha says the mind is everything. Can the mind bear the real mind continues to change? So I have to look into this mind which is living in ignorance. I have to get rid of. But it doesn't mean that get rid of it. Again, you see the language. I said it. It doesn't mean the mind should be destroyed. Mind should continue to function. Mathematical equation minus delusion, minus identification, minus association. Or simple, mind should continue to think, speak, and act minus ignorance. What is that mind? There is no mind. Reflected consciousness, that is the mind, it is gone. What is left? Real self. That is the journey. Think, reflect. Mind is everything. Means what? My cognition is everything. What comes under cognition? You are sitting there, I'm sitting here, you are listening to me, I'm speaking to you. This is mind. Mind. I have pain, mind. I have stressed mind. I'm honey mind. I'm not honey mind. I'm single mind. I'm divorced mind. I am male mind. Existence has nothing to do with that you are man or woman. Mind is everything. Everything means whatever is known is mind. Another part, whatever is not known is also the mind. So you just even for half an hour you sit and contemplate. Now I have a problem to solve. This is the mind. It is a change. So today is the problem. Tomorrow it will be the solution. So come down. That is the approach we take. You think that we don't have problem? Yeah, we have problems. We have challenges. But we say because there is a problem, there is a solution. We start from that understanding. Because I don't have money, I will have money. Because I'm single, I have a choice. So it means that is why mind is everything. Mind is everything minus one word, ignorance. What is that ignorance? What I think I am not. Because I'm from the thinking, from the belief, from the conditioning, I am recognizing what I am. And that is also the mind. Our French philosopher, I think, therefore I am. Oh, yeah, Greek. Oh, sorry, Greek. Greek philosopher. Huh? Oh, yeah. Greek philosopher. I think, therefore, you don't know any language, so please think. Then you think that I am, and still you exist. So, this question of replacing the false to the real encourages our intellect to examine. You simply examine that point. I gave you a simple example. I am aware of the extreme pain. It means that I am is different from I am aware I am experiencing the pain. There are two things, not one. So that I am is still in peace and happiness. It is not affected by the pain in the body, frustration in the mind, fear in the mind. We need an introspection, examination. Guy was telling me that after all, when you are seeking that everything outside is a pleasure, it is a short lived. I said, don't you understand that it is a short lived? Yes, I understand, but still there is a pleasure. So I repeat it and I continue to have the pleasure. So, yes, no doubt, you should have it. You marry once, then marry twice and thrice. You eat the same pasta again and again. After eating pasta 10 times, what happens? You want to eat something else. I'm answering the question that I have to move from the false to the real. That can happen anytime, anywhere. We need that simple awareness. And in that context, I'm explaining this example. So he was pushing me that don't you admit that there is a pleasure, but it is a delusion. That is why it is short lived. No, no, but question you did not answer me that why there is a pleasure in the world. Teach you that happiness is within. To help your mind realize happiness is within. Pleasure is outside, happiness is within. And the pleasure goes with the pain. Pain hides the pleasure. What is the answer of the previous question? Every moment is an opportunity to see the real self here and now, in every situation, in every event. Ah, my honey, I don't want to live with you. Okay, calm down. So you are aware of that I am plus your behavior and attitude. No, I don't want to live with you. That's okay. Whatever you want to do, you do it. You are aware of the changes taking place in relationship that is independent and different from that I am. And your intellect is fully aware. I had sought pleasures. Now she doesn't want to live with me. So there would be an absence of pleasure. No, there also will be the absence of pain and pleasure. We don't recognize it. When we don't recognize it, then what happens, I had the pleasure from person A, he or she left. Now I'll have a pleasure from the second person. This is what the ignorance is. Who created this? Everything is mine, Buddha says. Mine is everything. Mine is everything. Ignorance is like a ice which you throw, cube of the ice you throw on Arctic Ocean when there is a full of snow and the ice. Nothing happens. Nothing, no changes takes place. You have to throw this ice so that falls into an ocean, in a Pacific Ocean or Atlantic Ocean. Gradually it starts melting, melting, melting. Identity is lost. Whatever is mind is gone. It is one conscious. Mind is nothing but the conscious. What mind? Minus ignorance. Mind plus ignorance, it will say, how can you say that I'm an ocean? I'm a small individual, limited individual. Don't you see that? Do you see that? Many, through the metaphor, we can only throw the ice block into an ocean. What fears or anxiety might arise as you contemplate in the process of dissolving the ego? The question invites individuals to consider what to consider. Consider the implications of putting the ice into an Arctic Ocean. Because why I'm putting there? Because I want to change this name and the form with another change, name and form. Both are mind. Every activity is mine. Thought is mine. Feeling is mine. Emotions is mine. Action is mine. Everything, as long as it is happening within the mind, means it will continue to move from one situation to the other. Why it wants to move from one place to the other? Because there is a time in between. So, where there is a time, I miss that real self. Where there is a time, there is a change. Where there is a place, there is a change. Who recognizes, who perceives the change is the mind. mind itself is changing, both should go. When we say both should go, both should be devoid of attachment, both should be devoid of delusion, both should be devoid of ignorance. Then whatever is left, there is no mind, there is only consciousness. That consciousness, which is the subjective reality, cannot be brought into the objective reality at all. Subjective, that never becomes the object. At two level, it becomes the objective. Subjective. My senses are subjective at present when I say I see you. My sense organs are keep on changing. Go second level. Mind is subjective when I say I know you. I, mind. Mind says mind knows you. Mind is also changing. So there are two types of knowers. First type of knower, which acts as a knower in particular situation. For example, the senses are the knower subjective when I see your name in the form. But when the mind perceives through the eyes, these eyes have become objective. They have lost their ability to claim that they are the knower. Because now, how I know you? My mind, because of the memory, have seen the name in the form, goes through the eyes, reflects on you. I know you. Mind is saying. So, mind uses the sense organs as an instrument. But in the first case, sense organs are the knower. Then comes the final stage. Who is behind the mind? Who says I'm in stress? I did this. So there is an awareness of all the actions and the thoughts and the feeling. Oh, there is someone behind the mind. Because it is behind the mind, by default it is behind the sense organs. By default it is behind the sense organs. By default it is behind the word. It is not the word. If I say it is behind the mind, how I know it? I'm in stress, I'm happy, I'm sad. Who knows all the different mental states? There has to be some entity, separate, independent. That is consciousness. That is real self. That is the knower. When we recognize the changing plus the unchanging together, it is known as witness consciousness. Because I'm witnessing the change is not me. Before that, there is a choiceless awareness. After that, there is a witness consciousness. As we continue to practice meditation, that witness consciousness recognizes whatever is changing is simply manifesting, expressing itself. It has nothing to do with that knower. That knower is the real self of the nature of absolute consciousness.